Hello, everyone. I am Zazubaar.
I'm Super DM64.
And I'm Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir.
And this is Terminator Genisys through the shot glass.
Come with me if you want to live.
Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun
So welcome back to Through the Shot Glass, the technically first episode of the show. For those of you just joining us, because this is the first episode technically, and we shouldn't be assuming prior knowledge, the premise of Through the Shot Glass is watch a movie that Dylan and I are familiar with watching sober, drunk, and we have Andres there as our sober designated driver, so to speak, to get us to be the voice of reason, keep us somewhat sane, keep us on the right track as we discuss the movie.
It's actually a prime candidate for the show because we already did a sober review of it last year. It's on the channel.
Yeah, exactly.
We had very differing opinions from the rest of humanity.
I mean, I think that we were just a bit more fair to it than a lot of people were, because we still acknowledge, like, this is not, like, a great movie or anything. But, anyway, so the movie, as we announced at the beginning, is Terminator Genisys.
Since when is a movie not allowed to just be fun? I don't know. Yeah.
Exactly. And we decided to pick Terminator Genisys for the reason that Dylan said, of we had very differing opinions about it from the rest of the populace when we saw it sober that first time.
Now we're gonna watch
in the
it.
theaters at G-Fest.
Now we're probably gonna watch it drunk and be like, "This is fucking shit." I see the wires.
I see the wires. You can see the holes in Arnold's neck. That's where the actor's looking out.
I can see the shame in his eyes. God.
So we decided to pick Terminator Genisys for that reason. It'll be really interesting to compare the experience of watching it drunk as opposed to sober, because I want to see which time I like it more. Anything. So, all right, boys, let's not waste any more time. So, just to fully get us ready, we are going to break it down like this. We're going to do one shot every half hour over the course of the movie, and I'm not going to be putting up the entire commentary.
Because
you don't have to
it'll
watch
just
the movie.
be us drooling and going.
It'll just be an entire podcasters full of Bill Cosby. That's what
the last one. That's what the last one was. So that's what I'm trying to avoid here. So I think that's really all the stuff we have to set up. Again, you don't have to watch the movie with us because you're not going to hear the entirety of us talking about it. Gentlemen,
I would just like to remind the audience that we are, of course, doing this in the interest of science.
Of course, we're doing this as a study to figure out.
And not just as an excuse to get drunk. Okay.
The science is sound on that. We're going to figure out what exactly Terminator Genisys is like through the shot glass, as it were.
Precisely.
So, gentlemen, all right, boys, so let's waste no more time, though. So, what we're going to do, we're going to queue up the movie. Oh, no, I'm sorry. One more thing we have to do. This is the first episode, so I'm allowed to fuck up. It's fine. One more thing we do have to do before we start is, Dylan, you and I, at the very... No, Andres, you should chime in on this, too.
Okay.
We should briefly get into our thoughts on the movie prior to starting to drink. So, quick.
Okay, I've watched this movie twice at this point. The first time being in the theaters when we saw it together, and the second time being after I bought the DVD Blu-ray combo pack. And overall, I just think that it's a super fun movie. Like, it's not perfect, but there is a ton of interesting shit in it. But it's just super fun, and I put it above the other post Terminator 2 sequels just for that reason. Like, I would rather pop it in than Salvation. I don't know about T3 because T3 is pretty fucking hilarious, but you know what I mean. It's just a good time, especially with people.
Yeah,
The
that's
second
the thing.
time I watched it, I was alone at home and crying in the bathroom, and
Watching it on your fucking iPad.
and
With a copy of Rulers of Earth in your other hand.
I was kidding. I was actually sitting comfortably in the living room, reading about rat protein. But the second time I was watching it alone, and it was definitely less of an experience than when we watched it in the theater together. So I recommend watching it with friends so that you can point at Arnold and say, "Damn, he's gotten old," and all have a laugh.
We all will. Because don't we just love mocking the elderly?
Oh yeah,
But,
my favorite.
Andres,
I'm an American, damn it.
Andres, as the sober voice of reason here, as our designated driver, what is your general opinion of Terminator Genisys at the current moment?
I like the movie for the most part. I mean, I feel like it's got some decent talent in it, great set pieces, interesting ideas, but overall, it kind of feels like a very unnecessary addition to the Terminator franchise. I mean, I feel like the Terminator franchise should have been left alone especially after Salvation failed to kickstart another series. Um,
Probably should have been left alone after 2, honestly.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
That was the point!
Or at least, like, could try to continue with the Sarah Connor Chronicles. But yeah, it feels like after it felt more like it didn't feel like a genuine, we want to do this because there's potential for more stories. Rather, you can tell this was made to just be a product simply made to push, like, to continue on this franchise that should have been left behind long ago. But that being said, as a movie that tried to resurrect the Terminator franchise, tried to make it relevant again, I felt like it did a lot better than anyone thought it could have been. I mean, obviously there are people who don't think it did do that, and they have every right to believe so. But for me personally, I feel like it it could have been a lot worse. And for what we have, it's a decent time.
I don't know about Dylan. I know you're a huge Terminator fan. I know, Andres. I know you like it a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge Terminator fan. I was raised on Terminator. My mom's a big Terminator fan. This franchise means a lot to me. Just sort of just in my heart of hearts. It speaks to me on an emotional level. It gets me all warm and fuzzy. Every time I see Arnold die in T2, I cry. I'm a massive pussy for the Terminator franchise.
Oh, it's a great scene. It's a great scene.
It's an amazing scene. And more than that, I have a lot of warming, fuzzing feelings in my heart for seeing this movie the first time with you guys. God, we had a fucking blast, and we really enjoyed it the first time we watched it. And listen, I may have already said this, but I'll say it again because I don't remember. Everybody who hates this movie is right. Every criticism I have heard of it is correct. It has so many flaws. It is so much of a mess of really interesting ideas, as you guys have said, but just really, like, bizarre, mediocre, not well thought out execution of things. And to me, it starts out like a really solid, interesting, like, Elseworlds kind of Terminator movie, and then it stops feeling like a Terminator movie after like an hour. Once we jump into the present day, I think you guys agree is when it really takes a dive.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, with all that out of the way, let's just dive into it, shall we? And as soon as we hit play, Dylan, you and I are just gonna have to take a drink, okay?
All right.
All right. So every half hour, we're gonna take a drink. That means that we will have approximately 5 at the end. So, all right, guys, let's find out what Terminator Genisys is like through a shot glass. In 3, 2, 1, play. All right, so we got the movie logos coming up over here. What do you guys think so far?
That's a pretty well-rendered logo sequence.
Not bad.
No,
It's more well rendered than the CGI in this movie.
It feels a bit overdone, maybe.
Of course, everything's got to go to San Francisco these days.
Yeah.
The Golden Gate Bridge. That's a fucking
become
cliche.
it's become the new New York.
You always have to have this scene in Terminator. It's the Batman's parents dying of the Terminator franchise.
Yeah, it's the end of the world. Exactly. J.K. Simmons, he has such an important role.
Oh yes, pivotal.
Find pictures of the Terminator.
Matthew Smith.
What the fuck?
Smith. What the fuck?
But when you watch these movies,
who the fuck is Matthew Smith? What do you think of John Connor, played by Jason Clarke? I think he's
really good.
I love
think
him.
he-
I love him at the beginning of the movie, not so much later on when he has to play the mustache twirling villain. But
Yeah,
all
that's the
this
thing.
stuff with him, all of this is great. I mean, he's a great
We've never
actor.
seen this John Connor before. We've never seen John Connor, the really old, grizzled leader of the Resistance, who seems very confident and very sure of himself. Doesn't seem to really question himself. I love it. We've never seen this
I mean,
John Connor before.
we got the shot of him in T2, right? And then
One shot,
af-
very powerful shot too.
other than that, all we have is him as a little kid, him as a bitch ass, whiny young adult, and then him as Batman. My question: why wouldn't the Terminators just build trucks that can drive themselves?
That doesn't make any sense.
Salvation,
They make Terminator trucks.
Yeah, that
Vroom,
doesn't make
vroom,
any
vroom,
sense.
vroom.
in
Vroom,
Salvation
vroom, vroom, vroom.
in Salvation they had the self-driving motorcycles. Like, why would you have a T800, this expensive piece of equipment, and his entire job is to drive the truck when you could just install it with an AI and have it drive itself? Now, did they take this shot from the original Terminator, or did they
Well,
go
I'm
through,
sure. I'm sure it's got a little bit of it in
or
there.
did they go through the trouble of recreating him with CG just for the like?
Oh no, that's definitely CG. Look at that dude. That's not real, Arnold. That is
plastic face.
definitely
I do
CG.
not
Yeah,
buy.
yeah, yeah.
It's
I
like
do not
it
buy
looks like
this
he has
on.
pounds of makeup over his eyes.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a real person. Now,
He doesn't
you
look
could
like
say
the real Arnold because his muscles are not big enough. I mean, look at the biceps and the triceps and the trapezius and the abdominal.
and also they blacked out his ass a little bit. Like you can still see it, but you could see his nuts hanging
That is
in the original version.
that is not Arnold's that.
Also, this is dumb.
Yeah,
They
that's
just
Arnold.
cut back. They just cut back from LA 1984 to Back to the Future, so to speak.
I hate when they do when writers do shit like this, where it's like something in the past and something in the future are happening or somehow happening at the same time, where it's like the amount of time that passes in one time period that same amount of time passes in real time in another time period. You know what I mean?
That doesn't bother me at all, and I think you're wrong. No.
The other thing is too, I always wanted to see this scene where John Connor is like, "Who wants to go back in time and save my life?" Because here's what I'm thinking now.
And here's the fucked up part.
Why doesn't John go himself?
He already knows who's going to volunteer, because then he wouldn't be born, Bill. He already knows who's going to volunteer. I don't even know why he asked for volunteers. Like, shouldn't he just assign the mission to Kyle? Like, what would he do?
Yeah.
What would he do if some other guy jumped in there first and was like, "Oh, I'll go," and then the next thing he knows, like, the timeline gets altered and he's black all of a sudden. Like,
Black all of a sudden, yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I don't. He already established in this version, "You're my right hand man, Reese. I wouldn't be anywhere without you."
and I mean,
You'd think that he would pull him aside one day and be like, "Listen, I've got this really important mission. I need to know you're down."
if the idea is that he needed Reese to volunteer for it, fine, but they would need to explain that.
Yeah.
Like, if the idea is that he needs to choose to go of his own free will or whatever.
I don't know. Maybe, but it's like, maybe John doesn't want to order him. You know what? You know what it is?
Because if you
he knows
remember-
he's gonna die. He knows he's gonna die.
Because if I remember correctly, there's a line in the original movie where Michael Biehn says to Sarah that he volunteered for the mission. So if he doesn't volunteer, then the timeline gets fucked up, and all of a sudden he's Jai Courtney. Wait a minute.
Oh shit! Wait. No. Oh, there he is. There's the doctor.
There's Matthew.
Speaking of
Matthew
Smith. Matthew Smith.
I mean, think about it. Sarah Connor is the mother of the future. Therefore, Catherine Brewster is the daughter-in-law of the future. I mean, it's
Daughter-in-law of the future.
very big role.
Oh, guys, there it is. There it is.
Genisys!
And
Hold
it's
on,
just-
you
it
mean to
does-
tell me you got me an iPad that won't work for 2 days? What the
It doesn't-
fuck?
Oh god.
Oh God, low rent Bill Paxton.
No, which one is he supposed to be? Because they fucked it up. He's supposed to have a tire tread tattoo on his face, and none of them have that.
I'm pretty sure he's the one in the middle. I know because of the lines. That's the one that's supposed to be Bill Paxton.
Yeah. He's supposed to, he's supposed to have spiky hair and blue spiky hair.
Fucked up.
I still love the idea that old Arnold is fighting young Arnold simply for the fact that he looks better than him.
The T-1000 looks a lot better than I remember it did.
Mhm.
But at the same time, man, that scene was really bad. Like that scene where because in the original movie, when he threatens that cop, it's a really powerful moment. where he's like, "What day is it? What year?" And he's like, "What?" Like that's a great moment. I get like he's a Terminator in this, so he wouldn't act like that. But I wish he had pretended to act like that and then gone after Kyle Reese.
Yeah, because the T-1000 in T2 had way more personality than the normal Terminator. He had that great finger wag when he was in the ore factory or whatever.
And I don't even think the line like "the day you arrive" is worth it. Like
Mhm.
the T-1000 should have more tact than just "I'm going to attack you."
Now, does this guy look like a young J.K. Simmons?
I was about to ask you guys that very same question.
No.
I actually think he looks all right. I think he looks good for a young J.K. Simmons for the pointless character that he
And see,
portrays.
when I saw the movie for the first time in theaters, I was still under the impression that J.K. Simmons was going to be Dr. Silverman.
Me too.
And I really wish he had been, because that would have been awesome.
Who's not in this, I don't think.
No,
Interestingly.
he wasn't in Salvation either.
Well, that's fine because I'm presuming he didn't survive the war.
Because he's dead at that point. Yeah, that's cool. But to go back in time and not have Dr. Silverman, it almost feels like blasphemy, honestly.
Who sent the T-1000 back and why?
That's what I asked when he first showed up. Who sent him?
And why?
How is
guess-
this part of the new? How is this part of the new timeline?
I
How does
guess
he
after
fit
the
in the new
events-
timeline?
I guess after the events of T2, when John Connor had been turned into a T-5000 or 3000, I'm sorry, Matt Smith is the 5000. Anyway, I'm assuming that they sent him back to attack her as a child, and then I'm thinking that John.
No, that's not. Because he is clearly going after Kyle Reese.
Yeah, but he's originally sent back to attack Sarah, because remember we see the scene when she's a child and he attacks the boat that her and her dad's on.
Oh, you're talking about the original Terminator. Okay, yes.
No, the T-1000. The T-1000 tried to kill Sarah in the 70s in this movie, and that's when she first meets Pops.
Oh, that was a T-1000?
Yeah, I believe his.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
I believe the idea was he was sent to kill her in the 70s, and then after that he failed at doing that, and then when the day came that he knew John or Kyle Reese was going to be arriving, he went to assassinate him as well.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So he's been here. That's fine. That makes sense.
And that's why they have an entire trap for the T-1000.
Right. Because at this point, she and the T-800 have been fighting the T-1000
Pops.
for a very long time, very unsuccessfully compared to the job they did in T2.
I love this. All right, this is really interesting. I really like the idea of Kyle Reese being the one who's the audience who is the audience's avatar in the sense that he's the one who doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
How interesting is that?
Yeah, considering
Because
that
usually he is the one who's like, "This is what's going on. Shut up. Get down. You're an idiot."
and he's
It's the complete flip now.
Mhm.
He's the one who doesn't know what's going on, and he's the idiot.
he's taken on the dynamic that Sarah had in T2 of not trusting the Terminator, whereas she has become the John Connor of this movie, who has sort of had the Terminator as a father figure.
And raising her like Sarah raised John.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that we have a very different Sarah. This one ain't waiting no tables.
No, yeah, she's like John Connor in T2.
Mhm.
And I actually kind of like her better than John Connor in T2.
I don't
not,
think
not acting wise, just characterization.
I don't think she's as badass as Sarah Connor was in T2, but that's just because
No, fuck no.
That's just because Linda Hamilton is a beast. All you Ripley fans, she would rip her head off.
Yeah.
I love this. This is great because this would have to be if
It had
in the
to be-
timeline where the sequence of events happens this way, this conversation would have to happen.
You two need to fuck right now, so you can save the
Whoa.
future. Come on, what are you waiting for? He's right here.
Make the babies. I get the idea that there's not going to be a John Connor
things of
anymore
that
because after seeing John Connor turn into a Terminator, I'm guessing that Sarah and Kyle are going to choose not to have a baby. So we're not going to have a baby John Connor, I don't think.
Although
Well,
it
we're
would
not
be
gonna have-
interesting if they ended up in order to show the audience that this is a truly significantly different timeline. Imagine if they had a daughter.
Yeah, Jane
That would be
Connor.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah.
We're 31 minutes in, man.
Oh, they're
Oh
explaining
shit!
it.
All right, here we go, boys. Shot number 2.
I always like to sample that nail polish
Oh!
remover smell before.
Oh boy. That's unfortunate.
if we get any more Terminator movies after this, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna have to do a straight reboot because.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way it's gonna be a sequel.
And
to
eventually
this.
they're gonna because they gotta make them.
Yeah, they're gonna have
Terminator
to.
And I'll see it, and I'll probably hate it, or maybe I'll like it. You never know.
Dylan, let me ask you a question. At this point, reboot or just remake the original?
How about we leave it alone?
I mean, yeah, but that's not gonna happen, bro.
Just like leave
Well-
it alone. It's already dead.
I think if they did it again, they would just reboot, and they would be retelling the story from the original, but they would probably have it set in the modern day and have the future date be like in the
Ew, I don't want
in
that.
in the
That's
20
disgusting.
in the 2050s or something.
Terminator.
Nah, because
They'd have
Terminator's
to.
always-
They'd have to because as time goes on, we're getting closer and closer to the date when this shit was supposed to happen, and it's not gonna
I
work.
know.
It's not gonna work anymore.
I know, but the thing is, that's kind of what this movie is. So, I mean, this movie has simultaneously killed any sequels to this, and also any potential reboot, because you can't remaking the original after this movie is kind of dumb because it's like, well, that's kind of what this is, though.
No, this movie is Days of Future Past for Terminator.
I know.
That's just what it is because
Yeah.
it's simultaneously a sequel and a reboot. It's strange.
You guys think there's too many Terminators in this, and that it's kind of all over the place?
Well, let's think about that. We had a T-600 at the beginning, and we had
Everything in the future is fine because that makes sense. But I'm saying once we go
So in-
into the past.
so in terms of time travel, we have
Yeah.
young Arnold, old Arnold, T-1000, and T-3000 John Connor.
4
That's a lot of-
Terminators.
That's a lot.
That's a
of,
lot of Terminators.
That's a lot of time travel, especially considering that in the past, when time travel was concerned, we've had a max of 2 Terminators per movie.
Every time. And I guess it's kind of I kind of like the idea of like Skynet's like trying to throw everything at the past. I mean, like let's just see what sticks. Like let's just throw everything we can at it.
I just wanted to
Wouldn't
call
it have been
back.
cooler though if at the end Arnold's Terminator fought? Wouldn't it be interesting to see a good Terminator fight as just the exoskeleton fighting a bad Terminator that looks like John Connor?
Isn't it interesting to
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
this? Isn't it interesting when you think about the fact that this Terminator that Kyle Reese is fighting right now is the one that killed him in the original timeline?
That is crazy.
Oh my god, you're right.
And it's also a similar like it's a similar set. It's a similar environment. He's in a warehouse
Oh,
as opposed to a factory.
the thing to the chest.
Yeah.
This is
He
the
threw-
one
he
that
put a-
in the original timeline winds up kickstarting the whole Skynet thing because his CPU is retrieved from the press and used by Cyberdyne to build Skynet.
Oh look, so I guess Miles
Hey.
Dyson won't get his hands on that Terminator anymore.
In
Think
this
of
version
this.
of the timeline, Andres, Skynet is not kickstarted by Miles Dyson finding the pieces of the original Terminator. It's kickstarted by John Connor coming back in time and fucking shit up.
Right. In other words, it's started by Apple.
Right.
Well, how did the Terminator build
But
this?
why do they need
Oh,
to go
you're
to the
fine.
future?
You're
Like, how
fine
do
with
they
the
know?
Terminator. You're fine with the Terminator having a complex understanding of like time nexuses, but not the fact that he could build a time machine. I found this much more acceptable because I just assumed that the blueprints from the one in the future were in his databanks.
But how does he build it with 1980s technology? I'm assuming there has to be some kind of technological advancement to allow people to do it.
Very cleverly.
Where did he get the tech from?
Maybe
He's a
other
Terminator.
other Terminators he have hunted them down.
Okay, it doesn't look like it's made out of old Terminator tech though.
I can buy him building the time machine with the 1980s technology because I just assumed that he made all these parts himself. He would have had to like custom build all this shit from available materials. I mean,
In 10 years though?
if he has an understanding of how the machine works, then it's just a matter of cobbling together the pieces he needs. And in response to your 10 years, he's a robot who never has to sleep and can.
I just thought of that. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It's still. This is too quickly introduced, and we're jumping around too much. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
We're jumping around too much.
Right.
Yeah, they've
right.
got they've got a lot to do in this movie, and they're trying to do it very quickly.
Oh, guys, the silhouette nude shot, and he's looking at it. Ooh.
There's the drunkenness. It finally happened.
Good. I've been waiting for it.
I'm glad they're at least handling this scene like a bit more tastefully than like say that one infamous scene from Star Trek Into Darkness.
Oh, he's sad because she put the jacket on. Oh.
We went through all the trouble, but we're not going to
Excuse
recreate.
me, gotta hand a little something over here.
We went through all this other trouble, but we're not going to recreate the 1984 Terminator sex scene. I find that very disappointing.
Hey man, times.
Well,
Hey man, times have changed. No, it's
I
like
feel like this scene is supposed to be this and the time travel scene are supposed to be like the original Terminator sex scene. I was gonna say the Terminator sex scene, but I'm like that sounds weird.
I miss
Ma-
Tech Noir, that bar she was in the first time the Terminator tried to shoot
yeah.
her.
I can't believe Tech Noir's not in this movie. What were they thinking?
I wish
No
they'd
burning
recreated
in the
that.
third degree, no photo play, none of that.
I wish they had recreated that so bad. Also, I wish Black Cop was in this movie. I love Black Cop.
Yo, no Lance Henriksen in this movie. This movie is balls now that I think about it. Fuck this movie.
Let's watch Terminator instead.
Yeah, let's put in the original Terminator.
I'm going on my shelf.
Guys, I'm trying to reach for the original Terminator. It's just out of reach.
Ah,
Ah!
see, Bill
I
keeps
can't get it.
Bill keeps his DVDs in a box behind him. Mine are over there on a shelf. I'd have to get up and shit.
Mine are in a different.
I'd have to get up too to get
Mine
them.
are in a different room out there, outside my bedroom.
Let's all go get our DVDs and come back. And
Oh
not
wait,
pause it.
my copy of Terminator is like a million miles away in a different country.
A separate
What?
country for
Did
your.
you just hear this emo shit that Arnold dropped? Why would you hang on to somebody if you're going to let them go?
That is
It's like
that's not a line.
Arnold, what are you fucking like?
very
Why don't you go
philosophical like
listen to
that.
3 Days Grace and fuck you.
Andres, not only do you have a separate room for your movies, but you also have a separate country for your movies. Nerd.
Huh.
Any opportunity I get to call somebody a nerd, I jump on it because I don't get that shit very often.
I love that. I've seen little to indicate you're a fit guardian for Sarah Connor. Me neither, bruh.
I like how Terminator just sly insulted his dick. Like
That's hilarious.
I'm a
Again, why
strong,
would it-
independent woman who don't need no man to help me up.
So yeah, this is the other Terminator sex scene recreation bit.
oh my.
Why are they facing it? They don't have to be facing each other.
Yeah, that would be
What?
awkward as hell.
Weren't Linda Hamilton and Michael Biehn roughly the same age? Or the same height, I mean.
I don't remember.
There's like
No, I
a
think he was a little taller
there's
than
an
her.
insane height difference.
Was Michael Biehn as jacked as him as
No,
Fuck no,
not
he
at
was
all.
a skinny ass dude.
Michael Biehn has a much slimmer build.
If they were gonna make a band, if they were gonna do a band of actors who've played Kyle Reese and call them the two skinny dudes, they could not have Jai Courtney be in that
And
band
I think that makes
because
him
he would not qualify.
and I think that actually makes Michael Biehn more convincing as a resistance fighter because I picture the war against the machines being a lot more about stealth and hidden run tactics than
He's
muscles.
eating rats, bro. He's eating fucking rats. Like, there's no way he's that buff. Like, it doesn't make sense.
No, they use TVs for fireplaces, motherfucker.
And now I am alone.
Now I am sad. And we're
Now I try to find my place in the diary of Jane. Oh, now we're in 2017. Another random ass time skip.
oh shit, 2 years from now. Or next year.
1 year
holla.
from now.
Shit, I forgot what year it was. I'm getting buzzed now.
And we gotta have some
This is a
shitty pop
reference to-
song.
This is a reference to Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles because this happens in
Yeah,
that show.
that's true. Also,
I've
that's
never
what
watched-
happens when you touch a time ball.
Okay, problem.
Yeah.
They had the coordinates of where. Oh God! See,
Ouch.
They should be dead. They're
Fuck,
naked.
how is he not dead?
He should be
They're-
paralyzed at least.
They should be so dead. He's not
Or
a
he should have like
Terminator.
bruises all over his back now.
Remember, guys,
Also,
this is the point in the movie where it goes downhill. So you see, they should be dead because they were naked and they just got hit by a car. That is not okay.
I instantly am angry. Fuck this movie. See why? See the T-800 was like, I have the coordinates.
How are there cops
It's like,
already there?
Clearly, something got fucked up.
Wouldn't this movie be so much more interesting if they had contrived a way to have the second time skip instead of taking them to 2017, have it take them to the 90s, and then they could recreate shots from T2, and the whole
Well, that was the idea. They were
and the whole movie could just be one big nostalgia fest.
That was the idea. They were gonna have that was the idea they were talking about before. They were gonna go back to 1997 before Judgment Day and stop Skynet then.
Right.
But Kyle was like, they changed the timeline that I somehow know.
Oh, right. That's why he grabbed the chip, and they had the whole scene where Sarah was holding.
I guess. I think that was what that was about.
He was trying to tell her that she was going to the wrong place, and she was like, "Fuck you, I'm going to the 90s, bitch." Because I want to go.
She looks great though as Sarah Connor.
Yeah, she looks just like her. I was very happy with that. I just wish they had found a more Michael Biehn looking motherfucker.
he has his like in this shot right there. I could see the Michael Biehn. Where's the gruff though?
Yeah.
Not
Where's the
gruff.
goatee? Where's the little goatee?
Where's the 5 o'clock shadow? Where's the scruffy look? Like
Fucking-
that was the whole point of Kyle Reese. He looks scruffy.
Fucking
Yeah, I
Matt
guess
Smith.
nowadays everybody has to look like Thor if they want to be in an action movie.
Fucking,
Yeah, but Thor is scruffy.
fucking Matthew Smith looks more like Michael Biehn in this movie than
Matthew P. Smith. Yes.
he looks more like Michael Biehn in this movie than Jai Courtney does.
Can you imagine if Matt Smith was fucking? I was about to say, imagine if Matt Smith was Michael Biehn. Like he takes his mask off at the
hold
end
on.
of the movie
That would make
to unveil
holy shit.
Michael Biehn. He's been behind it the whole time.
No. If Matt Smith was Michael Biehn, then that would make Sarah Connor a companion.
Oh,
A time-traveling companion.
Yo, that's so lit. I love it.
Do-do-do.
I just remembered.
Do-do-do.
For a second,
The more important question, kids, is why aren't you Dr. Silberman, J.K. Simmons?
this role is so superfluous. I saw a lot of people make jokes when this movie came out, like J.K. Simmons was put into Terminator Genisys to unlock some handcuffs.
Like literally, he had just won an Oscar, and like then he's in this movie doing nothing. It's insane.
Right? Was this like the just like the year after Whiplash?
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was probably shot right after Whiplash, though, so I don't think that had anything to do with it. I mean, J.K. Simmons is famous anyway, so
I mean, yeah.
because of Spider-Man, so.
I'll make him infamous.
I want pictures of time travelers.
Terminator wants to be famous. I'll make him infamous.
B.
Nah, you think he's better than Arnold is?
As an
Arnold's so good in this movie.
as an actor.
Well, okay, yeah, he's got more like he's got to act like a person.
Arnold's great in this movie because he recaptures that classic Terminator feel. J.K. Simmons is just great because he's a good actor, and he's totally wasted in this movie, and it pisses me off. It's almost worse. It's definitely worse actually than like the way they wasted Eccleston in Thor: The Dark World.
Oh yeah, this is way worse than that.
At least
and Dylan,
because at least he was present in the plot.
Dylan, guess who directed this movie?
Who?
Oh, the guy who
The
directed
same guy who directed Thor: The Dark World.
Aww.
So, fucking pedigree, motherfuckers.
So this guy had the chance to direct 2 past Doctors and did nothing with them.
Hey, holy shit, you're right, bro.
I can't-
He put 2 very popular doctors in supporting roles and didn't do shit with either of them.
At least he didn't.
Now, Matthew Smith isn't in this movie because he doesn't really have to be. Like, it was such a weird decision.
I never felt like Matt Smith was wasted in this movie, because he gets the shit at the end, and he's obviously the thing that kickstarts the plot to begin with.
And he's
so I
supposed to be
didn't
the
think
main villain of. He's supposed to be the main villain of this non-existent trilogy.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait until the next movie this guy directs when David Tennant works in like a Burger King or some shit.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Also, I can't wait until the next Terminator movie is directed by Shane Black, and it's set at Christmas, and we find out that the Terminator is really just an actor. Oh shit! It's an hour in, Bill.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Hey, it's Danny. Take me to your room, Danny. Show me your room.
Show me your room, Daddy.
Hmm.
I think this vodka has been sitting in my room so long and not being used that it's been growing stronger over time.
That's what happens, man.
Because
My
normally I
power
can knock,
only grows stronger with time.
because normally I can knock these back, no problem.
The
Normally
more
I
you
can knock
delay the inevitable, the stronger my power gets.
Normally I can knock these back, no problem. But tonight I'm like, oh god, I'm on fire. This is one of the things that pisses me off the most in like recent cinema history, because this twist of him being a Terminator could have been the greatest twist in the entire franchise. It could have been the thing to save this movie in the eyes of those who went to see it, and they blew it by giving it away in the fucking trailer. You take John Connor, the person who has been the symbol of hope throughout the entire series, and who the entire series has been about either creating or stopping from being created, and you turn him into a Terminator. It is the most insane twist idea possible. It may even be more extreme than like the famous Darth Vader is Luke's father twist, and they ruin it by giving it away in the trailer.
Why doesn't the Terminator explain? He's a talkie Terminator. He should tell them what's going on.
Yeah, he gives like
Just tell them to turn their dumbasses around.
this version of the Terminator is Spock, yet he can't explain. Oh, John Connor, he's a Terminator.
He's a Terminator. Nah, he's got to be all dramatic about it. He's barely he hasn't spoken to them yet. See, there you go.
We have no choice.
Transformer John Connor.
We have to go seek the help of the most muscular man in the world, Android 16.
Now,
16.
you just saw the nanites like fucking like absorb his blood and put it back in his body. How do you guys feel about that? Does that make sense?
I didn't feel like
I
they
kind of
were.
think he wouldn't have blood anymore. He just have the nanites.
I don't think
Unless
they were
it's like
net.
super advanced nanites that can program themselves to look like blood, but then that seems overly complicated.
I never
Or a
thought
stupid
that
reveal.
I like that he heals the scars after he's like
Yeah,
revealed
yeah.
him. That's clever.
I never thought that they were actually blood. I just thought that that the nanites were taking on the look of blood.
This is a badly acted scene. This is a bad, bad scene.
See, this is why I said before that I don't really like him so much when he's doing the mustache twirling villain thing.
Yeah, no, he's no good at that.
He's
I
not.
think, you know what he should be doing?
No way you can defeat me. For fate,
Yeah, exactly.
truly.
I am the
not
best.
at all.
Skynet fixed me. I am good. I am a good man. He should just be like, I'm gonna murder you. See, that's why this doesn't work for
He
me.
should go for more of the sympathetic villain role. And there are moments in the movie where he gets that across. You're supposed to feel
You
sympathetic.
guys see the original T-1000 in that scene? He was in there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There are
Oh
moments in this
shit, really?
film.
Yeah.
He's one of the old people sitting there. There are scenes in this movie where you do feel sympathetic for him because you know who he was and like you can see semblances of his old personality shining through. But that should have been like his character the entire time because whenever he's trying to be Dick Dastardly, it just doesn't work.
No. What I said to you
Hey,
guys.
Pepsi Max.
Yeah. What I said to you guys at one point was there's a moment later where he kind of seems like he's playing up being more evil than he actually is on purpose to try and like make it easier for Sarah and Kyle to kill him.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's intentional, but I'm just saying that's the vibe I get. It's not this scene though, it's later.
Yeah.
This is also a good bit.
I just don't
like
think
this.
this actor is really good at being that kind of villain. I mean, because
No.
this is the only time I've ever seen him try it, to be fair, and he's not being too often.
Now, Dylan, we did talk about at one point as well that it was a bit interesting to see a Terminator who's like, you know, who's able to be witty and kind of sarcastic.
Yeah,
and
I love
all
the
that.
moments when he's doing that. You know, whenever he's doing the whole "Hey, I'm a Terminator now, but I still have my human personality." That's super interesting and super cool and a unique kind of villain that we hadn't seen before in the series. It's when he's doing the whole "mwah ha ha ha."
Yeah, oh no, that doesn't work at all.
Whenever he's being Mandark, it just doesn't come across.
I like that.
Oh, get it? He's evolving. He's evolving into it's an evolution fucking
Looks more like Diva.
symbol.
Looks a lot more like Devolution to me.
It looks I think that's the idea. It's a lot more. It looks a lot more like fucking bad CGI to me.
Also, this is as cool as this idea is, the nanite Terminator. It's actually a downgrade from the T-1000 because you couldn't beat him with a fucking magnet.
No, you couldn't. I mean, he doesn't lose here though.
No, but that's how they beat him at the end, though, isn't it? They use magnets against him again in the final.
No, he falls in some acid, doesn't he?
No, he gets destroyed. Arnold throws him into the time machine or something, and he gets torn apart because he's not in his biological form or whatever.
Hmm.
Or his form where he's like masquerading as a biological organism. I don't really understand how him or the T-1000 are capable of time travel, given the rules that were established in this universe. But it's just one of those conceits that I've learned to live with.
I mean, even the Terminator is kind of bullshit.
Well, at least
even the actual, it makes more sense, but even still.
In that case, at least it's like he's surrounded by living tissue. So I assume that if a person had like a hip replacement, they could still go through the machine even though their hip was made of metal because the machine is only reading like the outside of their form and staying biological. Yeah. This scene reminds me a lot of the T2 scene where he's explaining to them who Miles Bennett Dyson is.
It reminds me a lot of Terminator 3 because this is like the camera setup they had in T3.
Because it's the exact same like shot basically. Terminator's driving the car, Sarah Connor's in the passenger seat. In that movie it was John Connor, but in this one it's Kyle Reese in the back seat, and they're doing exposition about what they got to do to save the world.
Exactly.
Okay, you do not look anything like Miles Bennett Dyson. Go die. He did not have a mustache.
He doesn't act like him.
Mustache.
Miles Bennett Miles Bennett Dyson is not a businessman.
No, Miles Bennett Dyson is not Black Lex Luthor. He's a regular guy
Oh,
who
foreshadow.
he's a regular guy, and he just happens to be a brilliant scientist.
Oh, what is the practical application of all this? What is he telling them it's for?
He's built. Oh, I don't
Cure
know what
for
he's telling.
cancer.
Well, from their perspective, they're businessmen in this movie. So from their perspective, of course, a time machine is worth a lot of money. Of course, liquid metal could be worth a lot of money. They don't know what he plans to do with it. He's just building Skynet in a different form, but they don't know.
Right.
They don't even know what Skynet
But
is.
I wonder what they think they're doing.
Damn it, Danny! Show me your room.
Show me your office, Danny.
We never got to see Danny's room, did we?
No, we never did. We have no idea what it looks like.
Eddie Furlong got to see it. That lucky son of a bitch.
I don't think he ever saw. I don't think they built the set for it, Dylan.
Fuck you, Bill. Don't ruin the illusion.
Oh, this is my bad, Dylan.
This is
My bad,
motion
bro.
pictures.
Your pictures with motions.
Am I ruining the movie magic for you?
You are ruining the picture. I gotta say.
Yes. Soon now, Matthew Smith. Soon we will take over.
Soon we will succeed in launching Temple Run 3.
This is also this is also the first Terminator movie where I kind of sympathize with Skynet, because technically at the moment that they kill it, it hasn't done anything wrong.
True. It's kind of like in Dragon Ball Z, where they go to kill Cell when he's still a fetus. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, abort that fetus. I mean, technically they were doing the same thing in T2, but Skynet wasn't personified in that movie.
Yeah.
It would be like if we had a prequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey where somebody tried to kill Hal and he hadn't malfunctioned yet. It would be like, what the fuck, man? Leave Hal alone.
I also like that he gets a job and he pays for all the stuff with money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he's waiting around since 1984. He's got a blend.
I really like that idea, yeah.
Got
See, I want a whole movie about the Terminator just chilling.
Now, why it never occurs to Skynet to send another Terminator back to kill him while he's alone waiting for them since 1984 is beyond me.
I mean, they probably don't know he exists.
Probably not. It's not really clear how much of this.
I don't know how they wouldn't.
He keeps the pictures. He
Oh,
cares.
he does have feelings. He's a Terminator with feelings. He's a feelinator.
Oh,
That doesn't sound right, Bill.
That was a terrible joke.
Fuck you, I'm drunk.
I know you are. I am too, and even I realized it. So, did you two bone yet? Come on, what are you waiting for? While you
Had a
were
moment.
traveling through time, I spent that time being the governor and having babies with mates.
Whoa, it's a campus? Like with students?
Yeah. Why not?
Why?
No, I think the word campus can apply to more than just schools, Bill. I just think it's
campus is just like a big, large area.
Oh.
The word campus pretty much just relates to, for example, if you were in Walmart's parking lot, based on the definition of the word, the actual definition, not the way we use it, you're on Walmart's quote-unquote campus. It's just another word for property, really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, there's an actual cherry in here. I left myself a little surprise.
I like how we just explained the meaning of a word to Bill, and he's too busy focusing on his cherry.
Yeah.
What's the guy say? No, I heard you. Wait, why did the Terminator do that?
Because he needed it. I need
need-
this.
He needs
Shut
the
up.
bullhorn.
Do not question me.
He needs the piece.
Oh, magnets!
I
He
need
needs
this for
the magnets
reasons.
from the bullhorn so that he can build Android 16. I mean, fight John Connor.
Dylan, he is Android 16.
Yes, he is. Holy shit. That makes Sarah Connor Gohan.
Hey, there's a bird.
Kick its ass. No.
I'm constantly getting the feeling of calming. I'm coming at home, and I'm coming at the gym, and I'm constantly
I
calming.
feel like I'm coming all the time.
Kyle Reese feels like he's constantly coming right now.
I don't know. It kind of feels like he's a
I'll
bit
tell ya.
dazed and confused.
It's a really angry cum, but it's cum. Are you checking Facebook right now, motherfucker?
I
We're watching a movie.
can't help it if I get a notification in the middle of a thing, you know. Fucking...
Turn off Facebook. X out of it, like I did, like a normal person. You gonna start playing Doom all of a sudden?
I can't not exist online at the same time that I'm existing offline, Bill. I'm plugged in.
You're one of them millennials, Dylan. I forgot.
This is the first step to becoming a brainiac, and I'm all about that. He switched into his future war Batman suit.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That was weird. He like did a Power Rangers transformation. He was like, "It's morphin' time."
What if he had yelled? What if he had yelled Pinchin or Dino Buckler?
Again, look at the kids in the background. Look at the fucking kids in the background.
What about the
I mean,
kids in the background?
And there are school
Why
buses.
are they doing all this near children?
I don't think they chose to do it near children. I just think
They
children.
totally
I
did.
just think children happen to be in the area. Can they help it?
They
At what
should've-
point they get attacked by fucking guy?
What the fuck, man?
What, you don't like the walking through the flame sequence?
Oh no, that's fine. I'm just saying, like they're like, let's blow up this entire facility near civilians.
I like
unless
how
they
we-
didn't choose to do that.
I like the animation when he comes out of the fire and we see like the fire like in between the metal bits. It almost makes him look like a Titan from Attack on Titan.
I don't like how he's like, I'm gonna put on a cool leather jacket because I'm a Terminator now. Unless, like, there needs to be a moment where he acknowledges that. But for right now, it just seems like he's like, I'm gonna look cool.
Well, the thing is, like, he's still got
Well,
a
that's the
human
thing.
personality.
Yeah, that's
But like, I'm saying that's fine, but he needs to address it. It seems to be like he's just like, I'm gonna get on a motorcycle, so I should probably put on a leather jacket.
what I like. That's what I was saying before. What I like about this concept is that we have a Terminator with a human personality. It's very very interesting. He's almost an android from DBZ at this point.
And the score in this movie too, aside from when they use the theme.
Dun
Dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun.
dun
See, it was
dun.
weird. It was
Can
weird.
you tell this is scored by Hans Zimmer? Because I sure can't.
Yeah,
Hi, the Lost World Jurassic
I
Park.
was about to say, did that?
Bye, the Lost World Jurassic
I was
Park.
just about to say, does that remind anybody else of the Lost World? That's so weird that I didn't notice that in the theater.
Yeah,
That
me
is
too.
the Lost World Jurassic Park.
Because I just rewatched the Lost World Jurassic Park like 2 days ago because I found out that they had put Jurassic Park on Netflix.
What, half an hour
Oh
ago.
God, did they get arrested again? Oh no, please don't tell me they get arrested again.
What the? What?
I enjoy.
Really?
What?
I enjoy.
Really?
I enjoy the use of the cops theme song.
Really?
Fuck you guys.
Really?
It.
All right, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. But
Why do we have this
God.
again?
Oh shit, Bill.
We're at the 1.5 mark.
oh, here we go.
We were supposed to take a shot like 3 minutes ago. I think it was.
Again, there's a lot of nuggets of lines and moments in this that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But God, that CGI helicopter propeller was shit.
Why
that?
do we need? Does it need to be CG?
Down, Cookie,
Where
down.
did he get a helicopter from? There was no helicopter on that roof.
Shut up, Bill. We need an action sequence to waste.
You shut up, Andres, pretending to be a movie producer.
We need to
I'm
waste-
drunk. I'll say whatever I want. I don't give a fuck.
We need to waste more money on
Bill,
bad CGI.
I'm drunk.
You guys feel like the T-800 is made stronger in this than it was in the original movie,
Oh, they did that.
or
In
in any of
T3.
the original movies?
They did that in T3 too, though. Some of the.
Yeah, but that was a different. That was a different model though. That was a T-850.
That's true.
This is a traditional T-800 as far as I can tell.
Maybe he's a T860.
75. He's a T-875.
He's a T851.
No, he's a T-825. He's in between the T-800 and the T-50.
These guys don't understand how to survive in an Arnold movie. You're supposed to get to the chopper, not leave it. Okay.
Why'd they leave the helicopter on?
So that
What a
they-
bunch of dickheads. Turn the helicopter off!
So that after they blow up Skynet, they can get to the chopper.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hang on. You guys just hear this bullshit?
What?
So, whenever Skynet ages, the clock goes down. What?
Yeah, I remember that from when we watched the movie. That was a stupid
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, we did talk about this.
This whole ending.
Like I thought
It's-
the whole like maturing
It's
is like
fucked.
It's just script writing 101, Bill. They have the ticking clock, and they have to do things to accelerate the ticking clock to up the stakes. But they do it in
See,
such
this whole last part,
But they have to do it in
it's
such a
just-
stupid way.
it's just generic action movie 101, and I hate it.
However, I must say that the fight between John Connor and T-800 that we get in a few minutes is pretty fucking satisfying.
That was pretty cool looking when he was ripping like the thing out of himself.
Yeah.
I like that this Terminator shows pain because he's a person.
uh-huh.
Those screens, like, why are they there? I mean, the cameras, like the projectors or whatever they are, why are they there? What's their purpose? Why were they built there? It's dramatic irony.
Who left all these monitors on after work? After they were finished with
Right?
work?
Isn't that eating up electricity? Like, these people have no concept of, like, money.
Finally, it looks like Matt Smith.
Like, OMG, you were Matt Smith the whole time?
There was a
Matthew Smith, excuse
Oh,
me.
sorry, how foolish of
Right.
me.
Matthew P. Smith.
Okay, that
wasn't
was
it?
really cool.
Matthew P. Smith. I can hear the 11th Doctor in there, and that's so weird.
Skynet. Why are you chasing them? You're a hologram. You can't punch them or anything.
No, yeah.
He's trying to
Yeah, why
scare
do
them.
they care?
He's trying to be all spooky.
Also, your
He's
voice.
trying to be like, I can save you! Let me save you! He's trying to be all, like, scary and shit.
Also, your voice is coming through the speakers. You don't even have to appear in front of them to talk to them.
If he thinks that he's inevitable, why does he even care? That was a reference to T2.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Picking up the arm.
True, because even after all they do, we have that nifty after credit sequence.
I really wish that Arnold would die in this sequence because it seems like a proper send-off for such a classic
does.
character.
He finally kills Kyle Reese.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot they do that stupid shit where they turn him into a T-1000.
Yeah, that's retarded. Yeah.
I mean, at least they set it up all right.
Oh, wait, you mean he finally kills John Connor? You mean not Kyle Reese?
Yeah.
You know what I will say as well? You know what's also a good effect?
What?
80s. Dylan's just like, what?
Oh, what's a good fucking effect?
80s Arnold to 2000s Arnold.
Yeah, they did a good job of aging him and making him look
Yeah,
younger.
he looks like there's no. It's totally seamless. It's great.
Yeah, and it was done practically, from what I can tell. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Why do we need that shot of the city?
To show that the power went out.
Passage of time.
To show
That was a cut. That was a cutaway, my broskies. Oh god, that was bad.
to show the effects of what happened on the general populace.
Did we see any effects though? It was just a shot of the city. It was
The
just
power. The power. We saw the power go out. So.
I didn't see no power. I saw just lights, man.
No, I saw the power go out. There was a blackout. So that means baby boom. So that's a pretty big effect on the population. When the power is away, the people will play. Just fuck her already.
Yeah, that seems to be what you're building to. So why don't you just do it and get it over with, so we can all go home.
Just get in there, man.
If they do have
What
a
if the
son, do you
last
think they'd be
6
willing?
What if the last 6 minutes of this movie was them having sex?
I would have been fine with that.
They'll finally recreate the awkward sex scene from the Terminator.
I cannot believe this movie is over already. Damn. What was resolved? What happened?
6
They-
minutes.
Andres, what happened in this movie?
Let's see.
They delayed Sky.
Yeah, it's basically the plot to Terminator 2. They're trying to stop Skynet from happening in the future.
I got
Not
you, bro.
1997, but rather 2016 or 17.
Did they win?
But in the end, they only
looks like
postponed
it.
the inevitable.
Right.
Because we know that there is an after and or mid-credit sequence in which we go down to the basement of Cyberdyne and we find Skynet alive and well, ready to begin its James Bondian plots for world domination.
He now resurrected as a holographic Peter Capaldi.
Yes.
What are they talking about? What are the two versions of Kyle Reese talking about?
They're talking about stuff and stuff. I don't know.
Stuffing grandma
Who cares?
stuffing
The
puff.
day is saved.
And Terminator's like, are you guys going to
Oh, she likes him now. Oh.
Now, you think after killing their own son, do you think they'd be willing to, if they do have another son, do you think they'd be willing to name him after the son that they just killed?
I don't know. We'll never know.
We all know
Never make a
that in the
scene.
original timeline, John Connor came from the very first time they had ever had sex. Therefore, we know that the sperm that creates John Connor is on deck right now. All he has to do is jack off before they have sex. No John Connor.
John Connor, yeah.
Then they can have a daughter and name her Jane Connor.
Do you think he's jerked off since he came back in time?
I think he's jacked off since he came back in time. I certainly have. I don't know about him.
As much shit as people give this movie, you gotta love Schwarzenegger.
He's great. He's fantastic.
Again,
I don't mind this ending.
what
I
I-
love that a Terminator movie has a happy ending. That's insane.
What I said at the beginning of the movie.
This should have been the last Terminator movie. This
Yeah.
shouldn't have been set up. This was dumb.
What I said at the
This
beginning of
movie-
this commentary, what I said at the
It-
beginning
it-
of this commentary, I can still kind of stand by in that it's just dumb fun, and I like it on that level.
Yeah, it's like
I had a good time watching it. I'm not gonna lie.
I like how the first person they show in the credits. I like how the first person they show in the credits is the unit production manager. Like most movies start their credits with like the stars or whatever, but this movie's like no, unit production manager.
All right, Dylan, let's take one last shot.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah. The time has come.
Why was he listed as Guardian and not as Pops?
No sé.
Because that's the role he
No
plays
sé,
in the
señor.
story. I guess.
I don't know, man. Larry Lundy Jr. He played Henry Guerrilla, which sounds like an STD.
Sound mixer, Pud Cusack, CAS.
Rick Lupton, full of lup,
Did you say?
full of
Did you
tuds.
say Pud? Is somebody's first name Pud?
Yeah.
Pud.
Oh, here we go.
It's
Word
a
of the
mid-credit sequence.
Post-credit scene.
Mid-credit scene. Here comes the sequel that'll never happen, making this entire sequence fucking pointless. In hindsight.
What is that? Is that a time machine?
It's a backup generator, I guess, or a backup thingamabob.
I think it's supposed to be Skynet's.
Dun 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 dun
Wow.
dun dun
Or-
dun 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 dun
Oh
dun
my
dun.
god, that's so dumb.
Or not Skynet. Genisys. I think it's supposed to be its
A backup
like-
Genesis.
like its core, like the CPU, like they had it hidden in the sub basement. It's like Android 13, where the Dr. Giro computer was in the basement.
Who thought this was
Yo.
a good song to put?
I know it doesn't. I would have rather they played the Ramones again.
What the fuck? Alright.
Or Guns N' Roses.
Andres,
Yeah.
I want to know what
What
was
love
this
is?
viewing- What is love, Andres?
I wanna know what love is. I
Is
want you to show me.
me
I gotta feel what love
is.
is.
Oh, bruh.
I love, what was that, Foreigner? I'm pretty sure that's Foreigner.
It's Foreigner.
I love
Yes.
Foreigner.
Baby, it don't hurt me.
Andres,
Yes.
what the fuck was this viewing experience like for you?
Yeah.
It feels like a repeat, pretty much a whole repeat of our experience at G-Fest, only we get to be as loud and obnoxious as we want. So, in a way,
Yeah.
it turned out to be better than what it was at G-Fest. So it turned out to be a more positive experience. I mean, we got to point out more, we found more criticism, more to critique in this viewing, but at the same
Yeah,
time, I had more fun critiquing. It's always fun to complain about shit.
I think one's first viewing experience for a movie is always colored by the fact that it's the first time you're ever seeing any of this shit.
Mm.
So like you're taking a bit more at like just the sheer spectacle of it than you are on repeat viewings because you already know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I feel like the movie turned out to be a little worse than how it seemed last time I viewed this movie, which was almost a year ago.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, not as good as I remembered it.
Do you guys want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We just want.
I didn't give my thoughts.
Oh right.
So
Thoughts. So, go.
So I'm drunk,
Mm.
and I threw up a couple times. I'm not gonna lie, it's fine.
Mhm.
People throw up when they're drunk, kids. It's normal.
Some people.
I haven't been drinking a lot lately, so that's why this happened to me.
Mhm.
Word.
So it's unfortunate, but that's okay. I had a really good time tonight, though. The movie, I had the same reaction to it as I did the first theatrical time. The first 30 minutes are fine. They're not as good as I remembered, but in the theater, I was so shocked that I didn't hate it as much as I did, that I think that was why I had that reaction.
Yeah, and I still do get a genuine thrill out of the recreations of the 80s scenes and how spot on and yet off they were.
All of the references hit me, and that's important
Yeah.
for a Terminator fan. This movie, I think you guys will agree, does not even remotely work if you're not a Terminator fan.
No.
Like, at all. It is a Terminator fan film made with a big budget. That's interesting. You know what? I think this is a fan film. This is a Terminator fan film made with an okay budget and released in theaters. And for that, it's about what I would expect. Yeah. Yep, that about sums it up.
Let's see. Now, as I'm about to, now I'm about to lay it on to you, ladies and gentlemen. Here, now you're listening to the solo portion of Through the Shot Glass here, with on your host Andres Perez. You're just continuing to make a further idiot of myself, but at least a very nice sounding idiot. So, what do I think of Terminator Genisys? Well, I think that it may not be as good as I previously thought, but I still think it has some positive values. And you know what? It makes for one sweet kick-ass time when you're drinking with friends and just having a ball, because that's what life is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Just kicking it back, old school, having some friends over who has the same appreciation for films that you do, and would like to nothing more than to have just a good time. Just sit back, relax, don't think about anything important like life, the future, the past, anything like that. Just enjoy the present, enjoy the moment. That's what it's all about, kids. That's what life is all about.